Welcome back to Te Araroa in New Zealand, everyone. This is episode 14 of my series where I'm hiking the 3,000 kilometer length of New Zealand with my husband Brian. In this episode, we have reached the well-known Whanganui River and we embark on a 5-day stretch of hiking 211 kilometers. We start by walking along the river, then we need to take a short boat shuttle before hiking a lush and historical trail along the final part of the river. This is a really fun episode and I can't wait to share the highs and lows with you. Okay, let's get into the episode. Good morning. We are off 35 kilometers to do today. All road. We're gonna try to stop at some cafes and make the most of being near town. The official Te Araroa route is to paddle down the Whanganui River in a southbound direction, since that's the direction most thru hikers walk the trail. Some of our fellow nobos opted to flip up to the start of the river and paddle down it, completing this section in a southbound direction before returning to hiking northbound afterwards. But we decided to stick in a nobo direction, which means we have to walk it. First, we will walk a section of road along the eastern shore of the river. Then, there is a short section of river with no road or trail option, so we have to take a river boat shuttle. The shuttle then drops us at a hiking trail that we will take to complete the Whanganui River section. Brian got a new shirt. He's very happy about that. You probably noticed in the videos he was getting like a lot of wear on the shoulders. We went to Kathmandu, which is one of the sort of chain outdoor stores here. Wow, really raining now. We're on the road along the river now, and we've got about 13 kilometers to go until camp. Feeling really good. Like now that we're in the rhythm, we are just going. Brian and I are just chatting about life plans. I don't know if any of you can relate, but sometimes it can be tricky to figure out what you want to do in life. It's fun on these long walks to talk it through with each other and bounce ideas off of each other and ask each other questions about things. We made it to camp. We're all set up now, so it's time for bed. See you tomorrow. Morning. It rained a lot last night and we waited out the rain for an extra hour this morning. So it's raining still, but not quite as hard. So we're gonna get going. Fully layered up. Fit check for the day. We're trying to get to a cafe at lunch, which is about halfway. Starting to get a little bit bored of the road walking. I'm feeling like I think I want to do even more kilometers per day if we can to get the road walking done faster. Finding it hard to stay motivated lately. A local drove past us yesterday to find out if we were stopping at the cafe along the way. We told her we were, and she dropped homemade soup off for us at the cafe. When we arrived, the staff warmed it up for us, and we relished in the warmth and comfort of it. Affixed to the walls in the cafe were posters for a movie that was filmed along the river, The River Queen. Made it to the viewpoint now. We dropped down to our final destination for the day. Getting close. I think we'll make it before it's too dark. We made it to camp. We just set up here at the glorious campground. I had a hot shower. So now I'm gonna go to bed. I'm so tired and we did it, 39 kilometers, yay. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's an exciting day. We're taking a boat up the rest of the river because the road ends here. So boat ride tomorrow. See you then.
Pack away the food and off to bed.
Today we are required to take a boat shuttle along a stretch of the river that we cannot walk. We booked in with a tour group and had an absolute blast speeding along the river and taking in the sights and history lessons. Thank you very much. Here we go. We just got dropped off by the boat. Now it's time to hike. But we got hungry, so we're gonna do a snack break first. Do you want to be in this with me?
Oh yeah.
Good morning. This is the Megapura landing, and from here we can start our continuous hike again. It was such a fun ride on the river. They rip in that boat and they pointed out a bunch of really interesting things. They pointed out eel traps and they also pointed out these holes in the riverbanks, and it was where the Maori boat poles would poke. So they would use these long poles, poke the riverbanks to propel themselves forward, and there's these historic holes in the riverbank.
It was really cool history, and to get to know like how this was the main highway before roads were here, was people were using boats to go back and forth, and that was really neat to learn about that.
Yeah. When the Europeans arrived, there were 3,000 Maori people settled along the river here. So it was quite rich in terms of people, considering it's such a small area.
Yeah.
And now it's time to go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. As we hiked today, we read various signs along the way to learn more about the history of the region. Following World War I, plots of land in this region were given to some veterans. The plan was to build a road from the nearby town of Raitihi to the Whanganui River, which would provide access to the region. Many settlers took up only on the promise of the road. At the height of the settlement, there were 40 families living in the valley, but the difficult environmental conditions worked against them, and the settlement failed. In 1942, there were only 3 families remaining, and though there were roads connecting the valley to the nearby town, when the government decided to stop maintaining the road, the remaining families left. The trail we are walking along is a remnant of those roads, and the few artifacts we spotted along the way are the only signs that this valley used to be inhabited by settlers. We're on our final 5K of the day, all downhill at dusk. My favorite part of the day, always. This trail has been really awesome. Such a cool multi-use trail, lots of bikers and lots of history. Brian and I are both listening to the same podcast through my AirPods right now. We've literally never done this before, but Brian's AirPods were like deep in his pack, so we were like, oh, let's try it. It's actually really cool.
We're listening to a treasure story, a treasure hunt story.
We are at camp now, all set up. All right, another big day tomorrow. See you then.
I read that too last night.
Good morning. I got to bed an hour earlier than we have been, and I feel so much better with an extra hour of sleep. So we got going at a good time. 35 kilometers to hike today. About 10K on this beautiful trail. and the rest on road. We ended up at the same camp spot 2 nights in a row as bike riders who are doing long distance bike rides. So that was really neat to get to chat with them. The one couple is biking all the way to Bulgaria, basically. So that's amazing. So inspiring. Look at this beautiful forest. I just can't get over the ferns. They're just so stunning. We made it here before our biker friends.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
How lovely is this?
Lovely.
That's a decent sized animal.
We're on our last 5 kilometers of road walking now for the day, and I'm very much struggling with the road walking today, and also just in the last week, finding it really hard to stay motivated. My podcasts that normally really keep me entertained don't seem to be helping much anymore. I know there's a lot more ahead, but it's definitely more challenging than being in a trail. You get a lot less shade, a lot more noise. I find it a bit harder on the joints, and I need to start figuring out how to enjoy it more because I'm really at a low point with the road walking.
Along this stretch of the trail, there are no official places to stay. The only option is a local couple's lawn that they've opened up to TA hikers for a small fee. Folks like these are called trail angels because they offer a solution to us weary thru hikers. We learned about them through our research looking at the different apps and blogs. We found their phone number and called them to let them know when we expected to arrive. We got there at dusk and they were waiting to welcome us with open arms. They have set up their garage to accommodate cooking and also have some bunk beds set up. There's also a washroom with hot water where you can shower. We set up our tent in the lawn and thanked them for their kindness.
Hello, it's day 88 today. We got going around 10:30. We ended up chatting with the trail angels who hosted us for quite a while, but we're off, and it was road walking for the first bit, and now we're on this really beautiful track for a few kilometers before we road walk again. Really enjoying it whenever we're on one of these beautiful tracks.
Today we are hiking to the town of National Park, where we will rest and resupply. Our next section is an alpine crossing, and you can see the beautiful mountain in the distance here. When we arrived in town, we checked into our hostel and got our chores done. Our plan was originally to start hiking the next day, but we heard that morning that the trail ahead of us was closed due to a death that happened on trail the previous day. In order to allow the person's spirit to clear the mountain, the local iwi, which means Maori tribe, have a rehui, which is a temporary ritual restriction, and the crossing is closed for 3 days. We waited out the closure in the town of National Park and spent our time eating, playing mini golf, and celebrating my 35th birthday. In next week's episode, we hit the trail again and head towards the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. Can't wait to see you then. Thank you so much for watching.